I've never felt myself being that way, but it was like a revelation, and I noticed it when I was editing the video. Basically, my reaction was how she did not slap me, because it was her turf, her territory.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your host, Angie Scott and Barb Carey.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer. I'm Angie Scott. I just got back from 10 days out with Rip and Hopper's adventure, the Redfish Roadie Road Trip. It was so much fun. They let me tag along on the Florida portion of the journey, and we got a ton of great stories to share with y'all from that trip coming up, including getting stranded on an island in the Everglades and coming across a runaway boat with a person in the water and witnessing the whole rescue. So be sure and stay tuned for future episodes. I'm proud to say I was the only person on the Florida portion to land some redfish, and I was super thankful for that because after that they went on to Louisiana and tore them up, much bigger than the ones in Florida too. But still very happy to have caught my first ever reds on this trip. I also landed my first ever fish on the fly, which was super fun. So more to come on all that. So much going on. Big thanks to Barb and Ricky for holding down the fort while I was gone. Ricky produced last week's episode about Muskie School, which was also a video episode. If you missed that, go check it out on our website, thewomanangler.com/83, or watch it on Waypoint TV. This week's is another one that Barb and Ricky put together. I think you're really going to enjoy this. It's an interesting perspective on a pretty hot topic known as mansplaining. Now, I heard this term come up a few times on the Rip and Hopper's adventure, but you're going to love this little twist. Instead of us ranting and raving about all the times in the past we've been mansplained to, this is a guy who caught himself being a mansplainer and openly admits it. In honor of this episode, Barb came up with a fun little twist on the get-out-of-jail-free cards that you get in a Monopoly game. She made up get out of mansplaining free cards, and these are to keep on hand, and the next time you find yourself getting mansplained to, go ahead and hand it out. Most guys, like our guest today, don't even realize they're doing it until it's too late, if ever. So now you can help raise awareness in a kind way without throwing any punches. We're doing a pre-order, so if you order now, you'll get free shipping. They're just $10 for a pack of 20. You can hand them out to your friends as well, and that way they can keep them on hand, and we can just raise awareness to this whole issue. There's a link in our show notes, or you can go to thewomanangler.com/mansplaining. All right, let's get into this episode.
Say welcome to another episode of the Woman Angler and Adventure, and we're taping this one. We got a lot going on here, and this is a first.
Are we live?
You're live. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube. I've never done that before. We're in my yard. I'm supposed to be doing chores today, and I started getting texts from this guy that I've known for, how long have we known each other?
Well, I've been here for 20. I've known you probably at least 18. I'd say 18 years.
Yeah, now first of all, welcome to the show. And second of all, you're going to have to pronounce your name because I'm one of those people that can't do it. Pronounce your name for me.
Well, my name is Lyubomir Enchev Antonov. I go by Lubo or Lyubaka. And Lyubaka comes from Chewbacca with an L.
Oh, so can I just call you Chewbacca?
Go for it.
So, and the reason that he's a guest on the show is, we've been we used to shore fish together in the Dells, and we kind of communicate through social media and stuff.
Lake Link was...
Oh, yeah, that was how long...
Barb Keepers.
Oh, yeah.
Barb Keepers, that's how she ran on Lake Link when it was still a good thing. I mean, no, let's not go there, but, Barb Carey was Barb Keepers on Lake Link.
Yeah, and that was
became Captain Barb.
Yeah, before Captain Barb. Then that was my dog's name, Keeper. That's why I use that. But
people thought because you were always catching keepers, that's why.
Oh yeah, well that's why I named the dog that, because it was one of the few keepers I could catch at that time. But So we've gone back and forth, you know, and he's kind of asking, you know, he follows the show and gives me compliments on it, and he sends pictures of his daughter.
Daughters,
yeah. Now you love taking them fishing, don't you?
Yeah, I tried. The little one's 4 now. The big one's 12, going on 23.
Oh, I feel sorry for you there, man.
Well, yeah, it's coming, I know. And then now we have a son as well, and he's always running around with that Melissa and Doug fishing rod. The other day he was out in the puddle just whacking around. Better whacking the puddle than whacking his sister, so that's a good thing.
I guess it is, yeah. Now, I've kind of followed you because you've become one of the YouTubers, and I say that with great respect because I can't figure it out. I'm in that age group that it's like mind-boggling. So tell me a little bit what you got going on over on YouTube. I think you're going to have to hold it for that because you have so much stuff going on.
I'll try. Well, it was big. The outdoor channel was big before. Right now I'm getting close to 5,000 subscribers on that and close to 5 million views. And there was one viral video that was the huge Wisconsin buffalo. That fish that we got below the dam in a dinghy, basically it was all out of bounds. It was walleye fishing. We went out in the dinghy and we snagged a huge buffalo in the tail and we pulled it out with a little itty-bitty net. So basically that was just the absurdity of the thing that brought it about. And that video, we went to Florida, we came back, it already was going close to 250,000 views. So I decided there is something there. So we started with that. And it just kept going. I started the segment, the fishy jobs. I went out with the commercial ice fishing crew on the Mississippi backwaters, down on the border waters with Iowa, and I filled with them. That was kind of an odd thing because it was a slow day. We didn't catch a lot of fish, but just the process to learn like the whole thing made it a video of itself. That was more like a film. Super bad quality. I was using just like a potato type camera. It was really bad, but that was pretty good too. That's when I learned how to clickbait.
Oh, clickbait! You know, it's like
I used the deadliest catch versus bottom feeders. Basically, that was what brought it about, and that video kind of did well. And then for a while, I was trying to do more of educational stuff because that was the whole goal. When we were posting on LakeLink, we were trying to do reports. We were trying to fill in people into what's working, what isn't working. Basically, let them learn from our mistakes and help them have less skunk days. That was the whole thing. But like anything with the evolution of these things, at first everything starts total democracy. Eventually it becomes totalitarianism. Like it becomes a closed society. Everybody's an armchair fisherman, everybody's a philosopher, and as soon as you try to do something, they're gonna just rip you to pieces. It works on Facebook the same way everywhere. Wherever you start a new group, everybody comes, open doors, open arms, come in, post whatever, and within a couple of months you start seeing the groups close, and then it becomes a cesspool and nobody new gets accepted. It becomes a little bit of a local chauvinism mentality is what I like to call it. And with that channel, I figured that I do have other things to say, not only fishing and outdoors. After all, I'm a family man, kind of. So,
kind of.
I am a family man. So I decided that I need to have a channel that's about other things, because basically people were complaining that I tried to involve my family life in my YouTube channel that's for outdoor stuff. So I started my family channel, and at first it was more like a vlog, documenting things with the kids, my wife's pregnancy and stuff like that. We had videos basically following the week-by-week consultations with the doctor until last year. Those videos that were 4 years old, which is the age of our daughter, went viral, and now that channel has 24 million views and 64,000 subscribers, which I have absolutely no control over. People ask me how it happened. Honestly, I have no clue. But what I've been utilizing is bouncing off of each other at those channels, and I made a third channel, which is Bulgarian Alien, and that one is basically anything that doesn't fit in the family and the fishing style. So it's mostly goofy things that I repost for people, but that one is kind of like the slowest growing one. But that also is about 1 million views, something like that. Which again, all of this is small potatoes. I'm no YouTuber. People have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They get millions of views in a week, and they get brand deals and whatnot. I'm nowhere near that. This is my break today, getting out on the famous Woman Angler podcast. And you tell them why I'm here. What is the actual story? You got to see the video.
Well, you know, he's been interested in the show. He's been a fan of the show, and he was saying, "Oh, can I get on your show sometime?" And I said, "Well, you know, it's really about women anglers, you know." So I said, "Yeah, I'll check this."
What do you have to say?
What
do you have to say? Yeah,
I'll check the schedule. Good. I kind of put him off a couple times, and so we were texting back and forth today about this big walleye tournament over on River's Edge, and so he sent me this link to a video, a YouTube video that he did when he kind of went out fishing with this gal from a different state, and I'll explain more in the future. But he goes, "I want you to see that video because I watched the video after I did it, and I wanted to punch myself in the face how I treated that woman and how condescending I was to her without even realizing it. So now I'm intrigued, you know. Here's a well-respected angler, good angler. He's fished with me a lot. I don't remember you being patronizing or condescending to me because I probably would have punched you in the mouth, but
I've never felt myself being that way, but it was like a revelation, and I noticed it when I was editing the video. Basically, my reaction was how she did not slap me, because it was her turf, her territory. I mean, like I told you, basically first thing she did when we went to the water, she squatted and she peed, basically marking her territory. A wild woman altogether. I mean, it was incredible. But the whole thing was, I honestly felt the way I felt when I've been fishing with elder anglers back on the Danube River when I'm in somebody's boat. Basically, I felt like I'm encroaching on her territory, basically giving her tips on how to catch catfish when she was the one taking me catfishing. I told her, don't use worms, use cut bait. Who am I to tell you how to fish in Kansas? It was ridiculous. I was super shocked with myself. But again, that realization didn't come to me until I was back home editing the video. It was a big shocker, and I was asking myself, is that who I am? Because I respect my wife, I respect my daughters. I'm shocked if this is where I stand, and this is kind of like a confessional right now. I guess bouncing it off of Barb, because she's kind of like great mind in that aspect. I want to see what she has to say about it. But again, we both watched the video just before we started taping this, and we were laughing at how ridiculous I was acting, like old good fella type of guy, just reaching and helping her reel her fish. And honestly, at some point she said, "My fish." That was my fish. I'm dealing with it.
You were adjusting the drag on her rod that she's fishing. Now, how the whole thing came to be is he travels. The truck driver runs around, and he always has his fishing gear. He always has his cameras and stuff, and he looks for opportunities to fish when he's on the road, because I mean, that you just have to fish when you can fish. And he kind of,
I call it highway bassing.
Highway bassing.
I'm actually gonna. Now I got the idea from seeing your bass. I'm gonna put it on my truck. My trailer is a little bit longer than that, so I can put like a highway bassing hashtag all over the place. Because everybody does pond bassing and tactical bassing and whatnot. I'll do highway bassing. That's gonna be my thing. But it's a crazy concept.
Well, and he kind of was at the zoo killing time, and he saw a car with some fishing rods in it, and the gal getting in the car, and he went up, "Hey, is there a place to fish around there?" You know, one thing led to the other, and she ended up sending all his info to her friends in case she was going to be kidnapped and murdered.
Right.
But
I'm that idiot trucker that's just showing up from nowhere.
So he accompanies this gal out fishing just to kind of go fishing.
She offered to take me out fishing, so I'm never gonna say no to that. Otherwise, I gotta go sit in a stupid motel room or just kill the time and drink beer, watch stupid TV. So this was a great opportunity to get out and actually do something I love.
And where was it? And what's her name?
That's Kansas. Should I tell her name?
Well, is it in the video?
It's in the video. She goes by Cherry. Okay, so her name is Cherry.
Okay, so you get out there fishing with her and you start recording and stuff, and obviously she's a very interesting gal. When I was watching the video, I saw she had like mud all over her legs and said, what was up with that?
She forgot sunscreen, so she basically took mud from the lake and she covered herself in mud. I mean, face and everything. It was just incredible to watch.
So how long were you fishing out there? And were you fishing or was just she fishing?
No, we were both fishing, but that specific video I just did for her. I just did her catches because she started catching fish right away. Obviously, it was her spot. She knew what she was doing. And she was catching fish right away, regardless of me trying to impose my skills on her and telling her how it should be done.
I find it interesting that at the time you didn't realize that was happening. And it wasn't until you watch the video and you're thinking, oh my God! Look what I'm doing to this poor. It's her fishing spot. She fishes all the time. She has a passion for fishing, and you were just telling her what to do and how to do it, and it kind of resonated with you after when you saw the video. Do you look back now and think, "Geez, have I done this my whole life?"
That's exactly why I'm here, and that's why I'm kind of noticing that. The idea behind the whole thing was when I posted the video, I sent it to her. I posted it as unlisted video. I sent her the link and she responded right away without even watching it. She said, "Did you really call the video Girls Fish 2? Because this is..." And I was like, am I clickbaiting? What is wrong? She says, "Girls Fish 2? Really? You know how this is gonna be with my friends who know that I'm a strong, independent, wild woman, and you're gonna call the video Girls Fish 2? And I was thinking that I'm doing it, but this is what it is. I'm living in that bubble where my audience is men, like teenage to middle age, basically, who are out there fishing. I don't even consider that a huge population is actually women, super independent, who know how to reel a fish, who know how to clean a fish. And I'm out there thinking that this is the actual population that watches the video. And it's dumb. It's ridiculous. I went to the analytics to see what it is. It is a lot of males. Probably the percentage is about 70% of males who watch the videos. But that means that there's like 30% of women who watch outdoor fishing and hunting videos. Who am I to divide and say, okay, you know what, I'm creating content for men who also fish because women should be doing what? I was kind of asking myself, is this how I present myself at home with my wife and my daughters? That was the big picture behind it. So I told her I'm never gonna do this again, and we bounced off of each other seeing what titles would work, and we came up with Highway Bassin, Fishing with a Wild Woman, because she's I mean,
obviously
she's out of this world. She's something else. Big shout out. I hope she's watching. If she's not, I'll send her the link. She will watch it. I'll get my ass kicked for this. But the other thing that we discussed with you, and again, this is the male thing. All the guys, all the comments. So you were out there fishing? Just fishing? Really? Does your wife know? Yeah, I was out there just fishing. That's the whole thing. The concept of being out alone with a woman somewhere, this is how screwed up the societal perception of things. Like, you meet somebody and automatically it becomes a sexual thing. It's an odd world we live in. And a lot of people don't understand that there could be actually other things you can do with people and be out there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and hats off to you for being introspective enough to kind of understand that. And, I will say that I get calls probably, or messages like at least once a month saying, hey, what do you think about this? If I said this way, would that be inappropriate? So I think more people are checking themselves than ever before, and that's a good thing. I mean, you don't want to beat people down for at least acknowledging that, okay, I could have done that better. And I think the awareness level is rising. And, I've been in this business a long, long time. And to see how it's changed now compared to, I would be backing down a brand new $50,000 boat and they'd be like, do you need help? Can you do that yourself?
Exactly.
And, now, I mean, I don't get that anymore, but I think some gals still do. I'm kind of the lucky ones because they're kind of afraid to come up to me because I look kind of like a badass or something. I don't know, but
with the mohawk.
Yeah, right. And I think the people that the gals that are kind of smaller framed or wearing pink, I think people, and I don't know, guys. I think for the most part, they're just trying to help.
Right.
I don't think
there's always that extra. There's always that extra, and it's a mindset. A lot of it is a mindset. Quick jump back in time. Do you know who's the first person to take me fishing?
No, who?
My grandma. So there you have it. I did not get to see any of my grandfathers, neither my mom's dad, neither my dad's dad, but both of my grandmas were alive when I was born, and my grandma on my mom's side took me fishing. And she used to do that. She would take me to the lake, let me fish, and she would nip. She wouldn't fish, but this she felt I needed that, I guess. And that generational thing, I guess, it gets passed somehow. And like I said, now my son is running around with the fishing pole, whacking things around, and he cannot see a fish. He says, "Ish, ish, ish," but it's a thing. It will happen for him too, I'm sure. And the other thing, going back to the whole concept of sons and daughters, I have friends who have been to consultations with their wives, and they hear the news that they're having a daughter, and you see the freaking disappointment, and they go back and again and again and again. I never understood that. You know how happy I was with the 2 daughters that I had, and now that we have a son, and they said, so now you're done because you have a son? No, now I'm done because I have 3 kids. Are you guys idiots?
I see that. I see a lot of these gender reveal things on TV, and the reactions, I mean, it's so obvious.
The right word isn't priceless. It's not a priceless reaction. You can actually put a price on that. It's something ugly. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I do see that. And, but thankfully, things are changing. I think that, hats off to you for kind of owning your mistakes and putting it out there to your 20 million YouTube followers.
I wish. Let's go for it.
Well, maybe you'll get more women followers now that you're owning up and kind of...
Let's hope so. Let's really hope so. We can help each other. I will definitely try to use some of my magic to get your podcast out there and actually your YouTube presence out there. Now that I have YouTube stories open on my bigger channel, because you need 10,000 subscribers for that. And that happened for us recently, so we're at 64,000 now, but that's been an avalanche kind of going. So once we have that, actually we can mention places. I hope we get it to 1,000, so that at least I can start mentioning you in those things, and then people will directly link to your stuff. I can currently share your stuff because I have 1,000 subscribers on all of my channels, so that will give you kind of a diverse audience to see what you got. I already did on my way here. I shared a couple of things. I wasn't driving. I pulled over and I shared the things. Yes. So let's hope we can get the social media thing going, because currently that's all there is.
Well, and I think, from this, there's Stella making a YouTube appearance. Is this your first YouTube appearance, Stella? You don't look happy. I think the takeaway from this is, I think, don't make assumptions about anybody that you fish with, you know? I mean, you know, everyone, there's always people that are better, there's always people that aren't as good. And when you fish with someone or go on an outing with, just don't make any assumptions, because you may be wrong. And
you usually will be, especially if you haven't met the person before. And like I said, it was a bizarre situation to begin with. I'm going to the zoo, I meet this lady at the park, I ask about fishing, and she offers basically to take me fishing. And then we go, she squats and she pees to mark her territory. And that kind of was an opener. I knew that this is her place. She knows what she's doing. I should have shut up right there and then. But I don't know. The old school Bulgarian patriarchal stereotype probably kicked in. I have no idea how that. But I've never thought of myself in those terms until I actually went back and I watched the whole thing. And sincerely, I really don't know how she didn't reach and slap me upside the head for this. I deserved it, honestly.
Well, you know, hats off to you for recognizing it. Some people would watch it and not even notice. So that's kind of the evolution that I think I encourage everyone to kind of check yourself, male or female. And if you're a woman who's a strong angler and you go out fishing with a guy, don't assume they know more than you. Own your skill, you know, own your skill and just fish. I mean, that's kind of, I see that a lot.
Don't assume that guys don't know how to cook either. That's a big thing. You know how many recipes I have? And how many people we entertain, and they come and they ask my wife, how did you prepare that? Automatically. Like, no. And sometimes, you know, I'm at the stove and they're like, oh, okay. Shouldn't you be at the table? Like, just shut up. You know, I enjoy this. I enjoy wielding the knife. You know, it's a thing. One of the biggest reasons for the realization, I'm going to tell you why. We mentioned my 12-year-old, who's going to be 13 in December. She started her own YouTube channel. And now with the new changes, a lot of those kids' channels gets comments disabled. I explained to you why. Logan Paul situation. Then you have a lot of twisted people who are time-stamping your videos for sweet spots because they like to watch bizarre things that normal people wouldn't. Unfortunately, YouTube punishes creators versus actually kicking off these people off the platform because they do enjoy the views. YouTube gets revenue for eyeballs. That's the whole thing. The more eyeballs they can attract, this is how they make their money. The whole thing was, now that my daughter is on YouTube as a creator, I'm a little more observant on the comment section, looking at who's watching and what's happening, and also watching how she presents herself in front of a camera, because that's a totally different persona. And this is what got me to actually reflect on myself when I was editing the video. I was thinking about what I'm seeing in my daughter, how she is this whole different person, because she's bouncing off of ideas that she's seen out there and she's presenting them in her art, because this is an art form in a way. Not in my case. Mine is all dumb, simple editing, just crapping on the same pile. But it seems to work. So in that case, this is what I noticed, and this is why I kind of came to the confessional to to Barb to discuss with her and see what her opinion of the situation was.
Well, I agreed with you. I'd have slapped you. And hats off to you for recognizing it. And we're going to put a link in the show notes so you guys can go see that video and see what you think. I mean, make comments on there, pipe in, and just know that he kind of gets it. He apologized. He's kind of had a personal growth moment here. And
No, I totally get it, and I'm totally a family man. Not kinda, like I said earlier.
Well, you know, it's been interesting. I don't think we've ever done a show like this before, and I appreciate you coming on. And we're going to put links in our show notes to your YouTube channels,
I will drop all of her links as well, and I will make her a couple of short bit links so we can actually track the actual traffic that we get through that, so we'll see the results. Thank you so much, Barb.
Thank you.